Hello and welcome to the Blackout Podcast, where I get to talk to amazing people who do amazing things. And today I have Meghan Better of the Better Life Podcast and just the health. Okay, I keep saying I don't know.
You had it right. You had it right when you said it on the video call. You had it right. Charcuterie.
Halifax Charcuterie.
There you go. You got it.
I got it right. I've been practicing. Thanks so much for coming to the
You're
Blackout
welcome.
today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited. I haven't done this in a long time. I've done like other shows, but nothing like that's recorded visually. So
Right.
yes.
No, so I guess to me, like, having a film background, I just feel like video adds another layer to the podcast. It makes it a little bit more personal. Plus, you look great. So,
That's right. Well, thank you. Thank you.
I want to start. Actually, I don't. Okay, let's start with the one I can pronounce. The Halifax Charcuterie.
Yes,
How did
there
that
you go.
start?
It started just with girls' nights, potlucks. I'd always make them, or like at home, my mom like, oh, we're gonna have dinner together, or what have you. So I go to the store, grab what I could find, just put it together, or like even just stuff at home. I'd be like, oh, let me put this together on like a tray or what have you. And my girlfriend's like, yeah, stop like BSing. You can do this. It's a business. Like, please do it. And I was like, no, can't do it. No one's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
And they really like rallied behind me. There was two different instances. One girls' night, they're like, we're gonna do your pricing tonight, so we're setting up your pricing. And then another girlfriend came to my house the next month, and we set up like the Gmail account, the Instagram. No, shit.
Holy shit!
So
It's
they were
nice
just
to
like, you
have
can do
such
it.
friends.
It
eh?
is, yeah. So I would say like strong encouragement is what I call it. Like strong encouragement. Yes.
They actually made sure you open up the
Yes.
email and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, thankful for your friends for actually getting the business done. But
Yes.
once that was done, what are some of the things you had to do yourself?
Everything else, pretty much. So like it's like securing the products, deliveries, but also just like marketing. Marketing's been like, it's not hard, it's just time consuming if you want to do it right and do a good job. So marketing has been tough. And then like I guess just making like time for it, because I still work full time. So it's like making the time for it, but I do love it. So even if I had like the longest day at work, I'm still looking forward to doing it. But everything else is registering it and kind of just like trying to scale up, like build a website, all those different things.
I had the wonderful opportunity to work with an offshore of Black women in excellence, and that's where I would, my mind was blown because I was in this space with just some amazing Black women running their businesses. That's why I met you. And how did you get to be part of that?
There was a pitch competition that Tia hosted in September. So the application come out for it like I think in the June or July. And I kept seeing her, like I followed her on Instagram. I was like, oh, this lady, she's wicked. Like I've never seen her before. Like I don't know who she is at all. I was just like, can't believe she lives here. I kept seeing stuff for her, and I was like, I wonder, like we'll cross paths. Like we'll probably cross paths. And someone's like, you need to do this. Like you need to apply to be in this pitch competition. I was like, oh, no, I have time for that. They're like, you need to do it. So I sent the application, didn't complete it. I thought I completed it because you had to send in, I think, a form and then a business model. I didn't have a business model at the time. So I thought it was just a form. So I was just like, oh, okay. I was like, got it in that. She's like, no, this is not it. And I was like, what do you mean? And Missy's like, girl, you have to like your business model. And I was like, oh. So 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. that night, I whipped through a business model, but like I went through it several times.
Yeah.
Project, like everything was right, but it was hard to like get the data because I've been in business 7 months at that point. So like I don't really have any real data. So I mean, I made the math, made it work. But yeah, I got that done, and then I linked up with her through more or less the pitch competition. But I'd seen her on Instagram like promoting different businesses around the province, around the city, and I was like I said, we'll cross paths. And sure enough, we did, and we've done some other things. Or she's asked me to do some other things as well. So yeah.
And how was the pitch competition?
It was good. It was the first. I'd pitched once before then, but it was like a video pitch, so I just submitted off a video to somebody. But I'd never done it live. But
the video pitch, was it still your for the business? Or
yes, it was for the business. So
Okay.
it was the Shea Moisture, the Shea Moisture Diversity, the Dream Fund. So I was a winner of that one.
Okay.
And then, but this was the BWIE pitch competition, was the first one I'd done live and in person.
Right.
But obviously I'm a talker, so I don't mind talking. I don't mind talking in front of people either. That's I think like where I'm good. That's my sweet spot. That's where I thrive. So I was like, okay, I once I signed up, I was like, okay, I can do this. Like I'm just talking.
Okay, let's rewind. You say you love talking. Where did that come from?
I don't know, a child. I've always talked. I'm the like I know everybody says it, and like I promise you, they're lying. Still have the report card that says like perfect grades, lovely student, chats too much. Like primary to grade 8 chats too much, but like great student, non-disruptive, just talks too much to your peers. So I've always
What do you
talked.
love about talking?
Just different things to talk about. My dad was big into philosophy, and I majored. I did a double major. Philosophy is one of them, but like I just always love
What was
like
the other one?
discourse. Psychology.
Okay.
But like I really love philosophy. So, but just like discourse, like even as kids, like we'd ask like our dad different questions. Like our mom, like my mom was a secretary at the time we were growing up, so like they were just like word talking people. Like we were just a talking family, talk about things.
Mm.
I probably talked more than like my siblings do, but like my dad and I, we would talk a lot about different things, and I just when you talk to people, you learn about them. I like to say people tell on themselves, one or the other. But talking is just you get to know what people really care about, their values, how they carry themselves in a conversation. Can they hold one? Just and different things. I'm sure you talk to enough people that like things just spark off and different tangents happen. So like you just don't know where a conversation goes.
So, I mean, with that pitch competition, you had to submit the thing last minute. How much time did you have to prepare for the actual pitch itself?
Oh, so the to prepare was like 6 weeks.
Oh,
Yeah, and
okay.
there was like a mandatory pitch training that was done, I think, like 3 weeks beforehand that you had to go to. It was like a day-long thing, and that was really helpful. That was really good. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Tia thinks of
Yeah, no, she was like,
everything.
if you're a candidate, she's like, and I was accepted as one of the successful candidates. She's like, you have to go to this training on this day, so be there. So I was.
Then the event itself.
Yeah, the event itself was good, but it was really nice. Like it was well produced. It was nice how it did. Like everybody had time slots. You had to like do a practice round of pitching. So there were coaches there. You had to pitch to, and they give you feedback before you did your actual pitch.
Oh,
So I
wow.
really, really liked that aspect of it because that was good to get feedback. I'd pitched to my friends and gotten their feedback and like their partners and what have you, but having like people who are used to kind of take it or like I guess observing in that way was helpful.
Mm. And you say you have a full-time job. What's that?
So I'm a licensed mutual funds advisor of one of the big 5 banks.
You
Yeah.
help people take care of their money.
Yeah, or like to help them to stop crying about it. That's most times it's just to help them stop like crying about it, which like it's hard. Right now it's really hard. Or just trying to convince them like, listen, you don't want to pull it out. Like if you really want to, like we can do it, but please consider maybe not doing it or don't pull
So
everything.
with the recession and shit, right? People are like, "Oh my God, give
So
me."
yeah, they're not calling it that yet. But
Okay.
if you look at the data of what a recession is and you look at what's happening, but like when you say that, like if Trudeau were to come, it's like, oh, we're in a recession, like people's mind
Well,
immediately changes. So like a lot of it's just a mental game of saying like it's not that. But if you look at what happens during a recession, we're in it. We're in it. But I mean, I don't think it's gonna last long. Like if they finally come out and say it, I think at the point when they say we're in one, I don't know. I'm not a politician by any means, but I think they're just timing it. So like, oh yeah, we're in one, but
but
then
we
so
are
we can just
about to
like
get out.
they're like, well wait, they won't say we're gonna get out. I think we'll get out quickly and they'll be like, see, we did a good job. We got us in and out of it. I really think it is. Politics is just parenting, I think, on a larger scale. And I'm not a parent, but like from what I know of parenting, politics just seems like parenting on like a large scale.
In
Like
what way?
just the things like they tell you, like they'll just breadcrumb you a little bit, like and then they'll be like, "See, we told you it was fine." Like it's, and meanwhile, behind the scenes, scrambling, making it look good, and then they're just like, "All right, we did it. We soothed everybody. It's okay. It's all good."
Let's rewind a little bit more, because we talked about parenting now. Mentioned that you love philosophy because of your dad. What was it like for you growing up?
We were very like scheduled. Like we were in lots of sports. We always had like an activity. We were always in something, and we played probably like every sport, or we had to try every sport. So, like
Well,
we did lots. So like I to this day I can still like ice skate. I played basketball. I played like American football. I didn't like I guess traditional football or soccer. Not a fan. I played it, but not a fan.
why?
It's too much running.
Yes.
It's just too much running. My lungs not built for that. They're
Yeah.
like them and boxers, people who play football and boxers, top athletes. Because the way you're running, no
Yep.
way. There's just no.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
but
very
yeah, a
true.
lot of it majorettes. But I guess we'd like school, homework, activity, bed. Like
Which of all these things you did, like the sports and activities, which one did you really enjoy?
probably swimming is the one like I still really love to do, and that like I did swimming lessons. So probably swimming for sure, and probably like basketball to an extent. But I love watching like American football. So like that's good. Like I played, my sister played, my brother played, my nephews now play. So like my mom loves it too. Like she's in it. So
So do
we're
you
football
like
family.
have a team you support or
I
doesn't?
did. So it used to be the Baltimore Ravens, but now I'm just like,
How do you decide what team to support? Is it
they had
like
good defense. They had a good like D line back in the day. So this is probably like 2011, 2012, 2013. They were decent as far as like defense goes, because defense wins games.
so? What? No, man.
Offense fills seats. Any
No,
sport. Any
no,
sport. Offense fills seats.
no. See,
Defense wins games.
see. Here's the
That's
thing.
how I feel, anyways.
Okay, so if I was a coach, right,
Hmm.
I will build an offensive team. Do you know why? Because like we might get scored against, but as long as we keep scoring, as long as we have one more points than
I
the other
mean,
team, will win.
yeah, but like you got to stop them from scoring points. That's what I think. Like they can't score points, so you got to stop them from scoring points. Because we're just scoring points. It just comes down to time. Like who's gonna score the last point when. But if we're playing defense, we like you're stopping them from scoring.
Okay, so yeah, so like with the team Ravens that you
Mhm.
love, it's just the team itself. It's not about this particular
No,
athlete.
no. Because I mean, yeah.
Oh.
But like don't watch too many sports now. Like basketball, I've just like after the bubble stuff, I was like, oh, I'm done with this. It's too much. It's too much to keep up with. It's so I was like, if it's on, I'll watch it. If my brother's watching, I'll watch it with him. But I won't tune into it. Football, I might check out like if it's on and I'm like I'm not doing anything. I'll be like, okay, I'll watch some TV. I'll watch football. But
Mm.
yeah, no, there's no like franchise player that I really like on any football team right now.
At any point in time, was there anyone?
Not really. There was someone who used to play on the Saints that I was a fan of, but like not the team. Just I don't know if they were a cornerback. I don't know. But yeah, I just enjoy how the game works.
Okay,
Like
so
football makes sense to
swimming,
me.
what do you love about?
So it's like just I'm a water person. Like I think like
Ah.
past lives, you believe that I was just like something to do with the water. Not an animal, but like still a person. Just I don't know, but I love water. Like the beach is my thing. Summertime, I take off time from work to go to the beach. Like midday, I'm just like I'm taking a couple personal hours. I'll be back later. I'm going to the beach. That's me. I love
Do you
the
walk that
water.
close to the beach or?
Yeah, I live really close to the beach. So there's like two different ones. One of them is like maybe 10 minutes and one is like 15 minutes the other way.
Do you have a preference?
Rainbow Haven is my preferred beach. Yeah.
Oh,
But I don't mind
yeah.
Crescent Beach. If I have to like come to Halifax to see friends or they're going to the beach, then I'll go to Crescent Beach. But Rainbow Haven, like from like a child, that's been my beach. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Anyway, so you have this day job, and then you have the.
Charcuterie. You were there. You should have just went for it. You should have went for it. Don't stop. If you go for it, you'll be fine. You just can't pause.
Okay, you have that business.
Yes.
And it's, you're working on it,
Mhm.
but found out, okay, you said you don't really love market or that marketing is hard.
It is hard. I don't mind it. It's just time consuming.
But yeah, because I was just about to say, you're saying so. At least with your Instagram is nuts. It's fun, it's interesting. You have all that.
Yes.
So like, isn't that kind of how it transfers into marketing?
Like my personal Instagram, yeah, it's fun. Like it's easy to engage there because there's nothing attached to it. Like there's no strings attached to it. It's just me. But like the business one, like the charcuterie page, like I need to be on there like showing charcuterie, what I'm doing behind the scenes shopping. Like it's more intentional posting and more intentional engagement versus just engaging. But people are like, oh no, show us you. And I'm like, no, I can't. Like I really can't just show you me on the business pages. It needs to be about the business. So that's been hard to kind of gauge like how much of myself do I want to show on there versus just like how much product do I want to show. So that's been difficult. And then like also even if you have a following in one kind of avenue, it doesn't always translate. Even if it's like from one like your personal Instagram to a business Instagram,
Really?
it doesn't. I mean, it can and it can't. It's very like I would say it's very fickle. You don't know.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
yep. Yeah, that okay. I agree on that one. I agree because like you never know what people like.
Yeah, that's true. Or they're like,
And
oh, she started a business. Like, it's
Yeah.
her. We see her. We know. So it's like, don't do me like that. I mean, yes, but don't do me like that. Like, I run a great business. Check it out. Order something.
So, okay, no. Well, let's talk about
The charcuterie. You just call it Char. Just call it Char. Halifax Char.
Halifax Charcuterie.
Yeah.
And I reach out to you. I'm like, hey, Meghan, I love what you're doing. I have this event happening. Let's, I want to work with you. What happened?
I like would love if the notice was at least like 3 weeks in advance. 4 or more is preferable, but like
Oh
any
wow.
event, yeah, just let me know kind of like what you're looking for, any
Why
allergies.
why that far ahead?
Just so I can like plan out what I have going on, like as far as like charcuterie, like what orders if there's like a holiday coming up during that time, like will I be around? So like I'll make sure like I don't book
Oh.
anything else. If it's for like an event, like a large event, I'll make sure
Mm,
like I don't book anything for that weekend, like personally or like professionally. I'll make sure like I have everything in a row beforehand, whether I need to order like more products or like just packaging, make sure I have everything in place because that's been tough just due to how the market's been going and just availability of products. It's been
mm.
really like sparse. So make sure I have enough time and there's enough time to like give you something quality and then if things change, I can adjust. Versus if you tell me like two
Right.
weeks before, a week before, and then things change like 2, 3 days before, I maybe can't accommodate those changes or it might be more difficult.
Mm.
So yeah, just time.
Okay, so we have the time ahead, and then
Yeah.
what?
And then usually I'll get down to maybe like a week before I need the final number. That way I know because final number really just comes down to allergies. Because if something comes up, I can't just like take it off the board. The board just can't be eaten by that person. So
Mm,
then it comes down to like that sort of thing. So it just comes down to the numbers. And if like your numbers are accurate. So like if you want to maybe do an event for 20 people and they're like, oh, actually we sold for like 60, like that's gonna be hard to gauge. If you tell
mm,
me maybe 2 weeks ahead of time and you tell me like the week of, within 7 days, like, oh, now we have like more than double the people. We need this. And
mm,
like maybe I don't have the product, maybe I can't get the product, maybe I'm like running around to multiple stores. So it just
mm.
comes down to like being able to like present something that's quality to you and
Yeah.
what you ordered versus like yeah. So if something's not
Right.
available, then it makes it a bit harder. And I don't like to disappoint in that sense. Not that it's my fault,
Right.
but I know the type of quality I like to present, and I assume I know what the client expects. So
Mm.
it's meeting those two in the middle.
Did it take you long to figure out that sweet spot for
Yes,
time?
yes, it did. It
What?
did well, like depending, like certain, because I do like 3 standard sizes now. So like I figured like how long it takes to do like one of each of those sizes. But for custom orders, it's still a bit difficult. Like I can kind of gauge it now for the most part.
Mm,
Just if things change like last minute, or if there's like a change like the week of, or just weather wise. Like this time of year is really hard to gauge like how early should I leave because the food can only be out for so long. I can only have the food like prepackaged before it's presented, and then if once I get it there, you can only leave it out for a certain amount of time before like it really can go bad. So I'm always thinking about all
mm.
these different things in my head, like how long it comes down to like how long is the food gonna be out. So yeah.
Right. Do you have to be at the event?
So no, I don't have to
Oh,
be. Some
okay.
people will, like they like it if I'm there, but that's not part of like the quote. So
Okay. Okay.
so most times I'll drop it and go and just explain. Like I always have labels. Like I had to drop an order off a couple nights ago, and like they ordered several party boards, and one of them was gluten free. So I was like, leave the lid on this one because it has GF on it, so people will know not to touch it. Or the people who are gluten free know this is for me, and then nothing else gets inside of it while it's covered. But yeah,
Mm,
usually I just leave it. I say you can just slide out the box. That's my biggest pet peeve. If you watch this, if you order charcuterie, take it out the box. It's in the box on a platter, so you can take it out the box. The box is just for transportation. People, and I'm not gonna say I hate it, but like just aesthetically, it just looks bad. When they take pictures like in the box, I'm like, it's not supposed to be in the box. And I'm like, please take it out the box. Now my friends joke, they'll take pictures and they'll be like, it's out the box. And I was like, thank you so much. That's all I asked. It doesn't need to stay in the box. The box is merely transportation. It's just to get it there. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so once it's there and the
Then you
event
can just
starts, you
slide it
take
out.
it
You
out
can like literally rip the box open over
and
top
just
it and
keep
then
it
just slide
there.
it out, or just have two people. Like if you can jimmy it out one person, sure. Have one person hold the tray, pull the box out. This yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. And then going through what you do. The other thing you do is the Better Life podcast,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
your podcast is
Oh, you listened to an episode?
spicy.
Yeah, you okay. You listened to it. I was like, you could try listen if you want. You did. Yeah. What episode do you remember what you
I listened to a
listened
couple of them.
Oh, okay. Well, we're here
So
now.
so what is the story of the Better Life?
So Better Life comes from Megan Better.
Mm.
And Better, I was telling the story behind the scenes or beforehand, but I always tell people the origin story of Megan Better is just PlayStation. It's PlayStation Network. I wanted to play Call of Duty when I was in high school. My friend was like, Megan Good was really popular. He was like, Gooder sounds stupid. I was like, you're right. That's a dumb name. He's like, Megan Better. And I was like, That's it. So,
Yeah.
and to this day, if I ever like hit it big, I'm gonna give him a finder's fee. Like, here you go, you got it. You can't with it. People always have story. They love the story. So, but yeah, so everything is around better. Like, be better, don't be bitter, be better. And better is not like a better than you. It's like a better than who I was yesterday. Like, just striving to continue like self-development, self-growth, just pushing your boundaries, pushing your limits, challenging yourself.
And then the podcast, why did you start it? And what is your process for producing it?
So starting up again, just chatting. Love to chat to myself, chat to other people. I love to talk. Not that doesn't mean I have important things to say either. Just because there's a lot of people podcasting and people like everybody's doing it. I was like, it doesn't matter. But like if I feel like I have something to say or I want to say something, then I have my own podcast to do it with. I use the Anchor app. I can't remember if I used something before. I don't think I did. I think it was always Anchor. I've used StreamYard for some other things, but just not really a fan. But yeah, I do it on Anchor. Anchor is completely free. It stores everything there for you. You can edit in the app or on the website. But yeah, I just edit there and it distributes everywhere for you. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah,
Yes.
no, Spotify just I tell people that Spotify it's like they want to be the one place for all your audio, and it's insane what they've done. Because I remember, years ago, like when you want music, you'd have to like get a CD or use Napster or
Yes.
use
Just
Apple.
Napster, Kazaa,
Yeah,
or LimeWire. I miss
LimeWire.
LimeWire. I miss LimeWire.
And then that's how you kind of get music, and then Spotify came, and it was like now it's like everyone has this Spotify. Well, most people have a Spotify account.
Yes, it's true.
So with your topics, how do you even decide what you're going to talk about?
Sometimes it's something that's like got me really fired up. Sometimes like it's usually some of them are like timely with what's currently happening. Some of them are just things I've always wanted to talk about. But like the ones where like I'm really just going for it and you can just tell I'm revved up, like that was just on my spirit. Like I gotta get this. I need to tell somebody. But sometimes like the ones I have with guests are usually centered around what the guests are doing. So the guest's life. So I did like an episode with my brother. So we talked a lot about parenting. He has 4 kids. He has custody of 2 of them. So like he raises the 2 of them, like not on his own anymore, but he was for a bit. So like it's about like parenting, what that's like, and how do you like co-parent with other people, and what's that like being day in day out with kids. Like we always hear about the mom side, but I was like never hear about the dads who are like single dads and raising their kids. Or like when I had Dorico on, you've met Dorico, so like a lot of it's about like his community work, what's important to him about the community, his values, where he sees himself going within the work he's doing, like with Game Changers. So all my guest productions are usually based around them and what they have going on. But the ones I do by myself are usually just like what's happening in the world, what's really like maybe bothering me, what I'm really passionate about, or what I think I have a decent opinion on.
Decent opinion.
Yeah, I won't say good, I'll say decent because it's subjective.
Better opinion.
Yes. Hashtag better opinion. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so you have the guests and stuff. And it's interesting, and then you just took this hiatus. What's the story there?
Oh, the charcuterie. That was my base. So the charcuterie was just like actually it did, and the charcuterie makes money. Well, it makes more money. So I'm like, I have to go there where the money resides. And I was like, the money is the charcuterie.
Can't really argue
I'll be back
with
later.
That. Can't really argue with that.
Yeah. So yeah, I still have episodes like in the chamber to release, but it's just like putting them out, making the captions and splicing them, and then like getting like all the little like promo content done. And I'm like every day, literally the last week, I'm just like, okay, you can do it. Like you got time today, just try it. And I can't get it done in one sitting, so I'm like, no, I can't, because I don't want to do it back like just pieces of it. I like just if I can get the episode like it's already done, just but get all the content made for it. I rather do it at once. So tomorrow looks very promising. I have nothing as of right now. Before I leave this room, nothing to do tomorrow. So that might be the day.
Something springs up before.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, nothing that I'm anticipating is coming up tomorrow. Unless there's nothing. There's nothing. So maybe tomorrow.
Fingers crossed. Talking about time and having things happening or not. With all these things you do. What's your time management process like?
So I have 3 calendars. It sounds excessive. It's not that excessive. So I have the one in my phone. I have one on my wall at home, like a whiteboard calendar. And then I have like a literal like paper planner, like an agenda. Wow. They're all color coordinated the same way in my phone, the one on the wall and the one I carry. So everything is
Why do you have 3 then? Because it's all the same,
because one I can take with me. So if I'm out and someone's like, oh, can we do this? I'm like, yes. And I have one on my phone. Then my phone, I can set a reminder. That's the big thing. The phone is the reminder, like, you have this in an hour. You have this tomorrow. Then when tomorrow comes, you have this in an hour. So the phone is really just to remind me this is
This is
coming up.
happening.
The one on the wall, so like if I'm home or on the phone or in the office at home, I can look and be like, okay, this is coming up. It's like a visual, like, hey, look at this. This day is not blank. You have things to do. And then the one on the paper one is just like, if I'm out and about, I don't have my phone or what have you, I can like just put it in. And I can like, I schedule my days at like 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. in the paper one that I have.
Okay.
So I can put like everything for work and break it down like half hour by half hour.
Is 9 when you sleep or?
I go to bed usually around like 10.
Oh,
10,
okay.
10 to 11, I try to get in bed before because I'm up at like 6 every day.
Wow. Okay. 3
So that's it. But
calendars.
it works for me. If people be like, that's too much, but I've tried to do it without one of those three and it's not good. so I need 3 together. Like I said, they're all color coordinated the same way. So
Right. I mean, I think it's that color coordination that helps because you can
it does,
see right away. I have
this
to
for
do
this thing, yes. Like
Yeah.
today was blue for potting because like blue is pot. So I'm like, okay, we're potting today.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Glad to feature on the calendar. So, if you get all these things you need to do done, when are you thinking of releasing new episodes?
I think I'll still go back to doing them on Wednesdays. Because when I was on the network, you can't curse on here, right?
Yes, you
Okay.
can.
So we used to call it Bad Bitch Wednesdays. So like I dropped on Wednesday. I think 2 other girls dropped on Wednesday. And then like there was a guy that was Uncle Pooche who does my styling for me. He jokingly, we'd call him a bad bitch, but he's not. But anyways, we dropped on Wednesday. So I'd probably go back to Wednesdays if I did. So probably my goal is to get back in once a month. I can't go back to weekly, not yet. But
once a month, okay.
Yep.
And then, I mean, do you ever worry like there are things you might say that people that know you in some capacity will like,
and hear what I had to say.
Yeah.
I put it out there, so I'm just like, it's there for you to listen. Like, if you listen, good for you. But like, if you think you're gonna try to like shame me about it, you're sadly mistaken. It's out there. You cannot shame me. I'm just like, why would you try to do that to somebody?
People
like,
are stupid.
But people are weird, and they will try to make you feel bad because they have like a weird feeling about. I was like, you don't have to listen. You didn't have to listen. You could have heard what you heard and been like, oh, no more. And done.
Does that filter into some of how you do your stories, like on Instagram?
No, I look back on some of my stories and just like, we can't delete it now because they're gonna know that I felt away or I was embarrassed maybe, and I'm like, we've said it, it's out there.
But the good thing is like it's gone in a day, right? So.
It is, yes. Like some of them too, like I'll put on like the highlights, but like it's really not, I don't really pay too much mind to it. The person I used to always worry about was my mom, but she's like a Twitter person. She's always on Twitter, so I just don't really tweet that much because she'll see and she's like, you think, and I'm like, we've had these conversations. Just leave it alone. And she's on Instagram, but not like Twitter. She's heavy in Twitter. Yeah, but no, that's out there. Like anything that's out there, people know. Like they already know about me, or like they know if I've like spoken about somebody on the show, they know that I've spoken about them and I've had the conversation with them. But there's kind of with podcasting, it's like you can't. It's almost like there's nothing anybody can take away from you. You said it, and you knew you said it, and the purpose that you knew it was going to be distributed. So this is me.
Accept it or leave
exactly.
It. Okay. Well. You're navigating all these things, you have your podcast, Instagram and stuff. Something you mentioned earlier was someone styles you. Like, how does that work?
I have no fashion sense.
That can't be true.
It absolutely is true. If you do a deep dive on my Instagram, I've archived many photos because like it was not it. Just because I would wear things that just don't make sense, and it was because I liked it, and it wasn't because I liked it. I was like, oh, this looks good. I'm gonna get it. I'm 5'3". The clothes I used to like were for like women who are like 5'10", like tall model-esque women, and it just is not looking good on me. It's not made for short people, even in heels. It's not for me. But as someone was like, oh, I like how that looks, I'm gonna wear it and buy it and wear it, and it wasn't made for me. So now I try to be like, hey, Meg, it's not your strength. Somebody else's strength, let them decide. Like give them a heads up. Be like, this is what I have to work with. What can you do to make this work? And Uncle Pooche has been like A1. I bother him so much, and he's in LA, so he's 4 hours behind.
Yeah.
So I'll like wake up in the morning panicking 8 a.m. It's 4 a.m. and I'm like, bro, I know you're sleeping, but when you wake up, can you just let me know like these shoes? Like there were these boots and another pair of boots, and he's like, no, you could work that. That will work. And I was like, okay, thanks. I can go.
Lucky you. Okay, it's always great to talk to you, but I mean, I know you have things on the go, and I've been kind of deliberating this question in my mind because it really originated for me when I was at Tears, Black women thing. And I was just thinking, why do you think because it kind of was like it's not like most women in that room were saying the same thing, but it came out, every once in a while someone will mention it. And the question is like, why do you think some of the women, black women,
Hmm.
have it difficult or have reservations about starting their own stuff?
Like their own business or
Mm-hmm.
just I think a lot of it, I think it comes down to age. Like, is it like mostly like middle-aged women or like late 30s or like just overall any age?
I'm not
Because
sure.
some of it comes like culturally here, like probably people who are younger. So maybe like I'm 31 now, but like 25 and under, they're just like, whatever, I'm doing it. I'm going to try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I
Mm.
think people who might be around my age or older, just there's a lot more riding on it. Like I don't have kids, I don't have a partner, so like it's just me. So like it's fine if it doesn't work out because it's just me.
Mm.
But I think a lot of people just like, if I fail, it's not just me. Do I have the time to put into something that's not guaranteed? What is everybody else going to think of me? Like, and then you have to think of the people who already told you you can't do it. So it's like, are they going to be
Right.
right? So I think a lot of it is like some people, not that they can't, but learning how to quiet that noise is a skill in itself, or being able to block everything out but your own voice. I
Mm.
think is a really, it's a skill. I think you have to like develop it and like keep developing it. And I think that's a large part of it. I just don't think there's resources here either. Like when I started my business, I had no idea. Like none of my friends are in business. My family, I don't have any family member in business. So it's just me right now. So like it's hard to find somebody like having TFBWIE was like wonderful. The CWB has been great as well. Just to have people like just to help me like as a program I got into when I started my business, Black Girls Gather, and like that was really like I was like, okay, I can do this. Because first I was
Mm.
like, this is gonna fail, and I was like, most businesses do, so like I'm okay with that. I was like,
Mm.
if this works, it's a miracle. It's not supposed to work. And like I always tell people, I was like, you're not supposed to, it's not supposed to work. So I always tell people like what's
Right.
happening with me is like not supposed to happen.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
ready. I was like, it's supposed to fail. My business should have failed. It didn't. It still could because it's still a startup, but it has not failed. But just try it. I mean, I wouldn't say put all your savings into it if you don't know for sure. But if you've been doing something long enough as a hobby and you enjoy it and people keep asking you to do it, then it's time to really consider like, okay, if I really like doing this and there's a demand for it,
Mm.
maybe I could like monetize this. So like I'm always thinking like, can I monetize something? How can I monetize this? What can I like? Can I monetize it? Not in like I guess like an obsessive way, but like if there's a way to make money, you can do it. So like almost
Mm.
anything you're doing you can make money off it or profit from it. So if you have a business or a business idea,
Mm.
like do some market research, Google it, see what's going on in the area with it. Is there like a demand for it? Is there a community who's going to like that you can profit off of for it? And that sounds bad, but that's what business, you're in it for the profits. Like, is there a market for you? Is it like super niche or is it niche enough that like there'll be a consistent demand for it?
Mm.
So it's always a gamble. Like even charcuterie was a gamble here because I like charcuterie, but my friend's like, you're bougie. Like you would like it. I was like, I don't think I'm bougie. I think I'm like regular, like I don't think I'm that bougie, and I don't eat pork or beef. Like a lot of the meats I don't even eat myself. It's mostly the cheeses and the fruits that I get into.
Mm.
And so I was just like, I don't know if this is gonna work. And I'm a black woman in charcuterie, which like is not there's not many black people in wine overall, which is like the larger industry, but
Mm.
a lot of people here too, like even just delivering. Like I've had clients that like they haven't ordered again. And I was like, I don't think they knew I was black until I showed up and they're like, oh, and like you see the look and I'm like, oh, like
Right.
no, I didn't want you to be that kind of person. But I think a
Oh.
lot of it is that too, is like, black people will support black people, but it's like, how, like, where is the money at though? And I
Mm.
think some people think if they go into business as a black person, they have to only serve black people. And I like, truthfully, I didn't start Halifax Creek to serve black people. I was like, if they order it, great. They probably won't because they're like, I don't eat that stuff. I'm not doing it. Luckily, that was not the case. Like a lot of people from my communities have supported me, but a lot of my like clients and customers are like people who aren't black either, or like
Mm.
larger entities or bodies or like companies. So that was really good. Like I said, everything that happened with Halifax Charcuterie has been very like outside of what should be happening with a business and a startup.
Mm.
But I'm still grateful and thankful for it because it's like I said, it's been a year I've been operating, but I haven't officially been in business a full year yet. I registered my business March of 2022. So I'm
Okay.
almost at a year,
Almost
but
there.
like considering I have to tell myself like too much pressure, like you're a startup. You're not even a year in yet. Like it's okay. You're supposed to like
Mm.
have kinks and bumps, but it's been good. Like and now I'm just getting to where we're like, okay, like we can do more. Don't be scared. Just try it. Like try it. You still have a job. I won't be quitting my job anytime soon. I still
Mm.
need that, but just go for it. Like women should go for it. There's not enough women in business. There'll be more funding opportunities thanks to Tia, I'm sure, coming up. But just go for it. Like if you don't do it now, when are you gonna do it? And you don't want to be 80 telling your grandkids you regretted doing something. And I don't know, that's how I live most of my life. Is like I don't want to tell my kids or it's like, oh, I wish I would have done that. Not to say you should just
Mm.
YOLO everything, but I'd rather regret the decision I made than the one I didn't make because
Yeah.
I don't know what would have happened. So just try it.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. When you
Mm.
mentioned something, I thought of two things. There's this news that I read, and I can't remember his names. But anyway, point is like you have to make that he accepts mistakes of action or something. But basically, like
Yes.
if you do the thing and you make a mistake, it's not bad because you're learning in the process.
Yes, my teacher, Professor Todd Leader, I took several of his leadership classes, and he said if you're not making mistakes, you're not taking action and you're not learning. He's like you have to move and take a step or make a decision to fail. He goes, but you have to keep failing forward. He goes, if you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. He's like, so you
Mm,
have to. He's like, that means you're taking, like, you can't be inactive. You can't be like stagnant. You have to keep moving. So if you're making mistakes, it's good because you're doing something. So
mm.
just do it. It's good. Like you have to, people like to say like Instagram is a highlight reel. Business is, it's not sexy. I said that in an interview. Business is not sexy. It's not glamorous. You look great here. I look great here. It's not this in real life. It's not fun. It's not sexy. And there's a lot of work. Instagram is a highlight reel. So yeah, it looks great. You see all the goodness, but like it's really hard on the back end. Like there's days like
Mm.
my eyes are red, like closing my eyes stings, but we got it done. And it's for now, it's just me. And that's like a small sacrifice of like what it is just to build it. But if you want to do it, it's not going to hold you back. You're like, okay, you just need to figure out, okay, how can I do this? Where can I make more time? Like, who can I lean on to help me with this? So,
Wow. I like that one. Who can I lean on? It's good that you have those friends that say
yes.
you need to do it. You need to
Yeah, and
do it.
they're like, you need to. They're like, but we're gonna help you do it. So like, what do you want to charge for pricing? How much does it cost you to do this? How much does it cost you? And like, they don't ask for discounts. Like they just buy it. So like, if
Mm,
they don't ask for discounts, nobody's getting discounts. They were never gonna get them
mm,
anyways. But even as a business owner, do not offer discounts. I was told this like 6 months ago. Like, if you want to sell something at a discounted rate, then make that the regular price. They're like, but do not.
right.
They're like, do not discount it because you're not your work can't be discounted. You can't get back your time. You can't get back the effort. They're like, so if you want to discount something, just make that the regular price. Like, but do not do that. They're like, business is for profit. They're like, and it sounds icky, and we're women, and we're not supposed to say that. It's supposed to be nice, and they're like, but business for profits. Charge what you want to charge, and that's it. So I was like, okay, that was hard. That was really hard to just stick to that. As like a new business owner, I was just like, oh, people aren't gonna like me. They're not gonna order stuff. But like, oh well. And I turned down a huge order last year because they're just like, oh, it's not gonna work. And then I got another one 2 days later, like same amount. And I was like, oh wow. I was like, so trust the process. And if it fails, it fails. Like I say, if it like it fails, it happens.
Well, man, you're just dropping all these nuggets on me. I'm like, what? What,
Thanks.
Megan? Oh my God. Yeah, no, you need to bring the pod back for sure.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to
Yes.
say
Yes.
thank you so much for giving me your
Oh,
time
thank you. This was fun.
and letting me have time to practice how to say that word the
You're
right
gonna
way.
get it. Just keep saying it. Don't say it too much though. You'll fumble over it. Everybody does, but just to go for it. Don't stop. Just go try it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is great. Thank you.